This is part 2 of the Nazi secret space program featuring the Vril Society, the Thule Society, Maria Oric, and their hovercraft technology. The Vril Society was a secret society made up of 4 women. They claimed to have kept their hair long in order to act as an antenna to telepathically channel communication with other alien races. Albert Einstein was once asked how it felt to be the smartest man alive, and his response was, "I don't know, you'll have to ask Nikola Tesla." This is because Tesla refuted Einstein's theory of the curvature of space-time and recognized only the existence of a force field known as Vril or ether, which can explain the motions of bodies as observed, thus again agreeing with Maria Oric's data. In the previous video, we talk about how World War II ended in 1945. Coincidentally, the Vril Society last met near Berchtesgaden with other mystical groups in order to discuss possible contact with the Aldebaran aliens. In 1945, both Maria Oric and her Vril Circle mediums mysteriously disappeared. The Thule Society has, so I'm told, a huge base in Antarctica as well, which also is the place where the secret man-made UFOs are taken into space. They even have plans to make Antarctica a sovereign state in the near future, a state outside of the one-world government. The Vril Society, in control of Vril power, and the Thule Gesellschaft are tightly interwoven. The Vril Society is actually the inner circle of Thule, and they work in the US government and have done so since the end of World War II, when German Thule and Vril members were secretly moved over to the United States in a project called Operation Paperclip. Operation Paperclip was the second name for a program to bring German and Austrian engineers, scientists, and technicians to the United States after the end of World War II. And only 3 years after Operation Deep Freeze, NASA is founded. Pictured here is Maria Oric, and to the left, the electric ball is what's known as the Black Sun. The lightning bolt coming out of it into the UFO is what's called Vril, the Vril force that powered this hovercraft technology. The Wewelsburg Castle is where the Thule and Vril societies met for top secret meetings. And at the dead center of the castle featured the logo of the Black Sun. You'll notice it has 12 lines coming out from it which illuminate from the central point, similar to a clock. In the previous video, we talk about a fragment thought to come from Adolf Hitler's skull being actually identified as a woman years later, which means they didn't lose the war and Hitler didn't kill himself. So the great question remains, where did they go? We took all their physicists and scientists, but where did the leaders go to? It was almost as if they all disappeared into thin air. However, in the previous video, I talk about how this German map was leaked after World War II, giving very specific and detailed instructions on how to enter the inner Earth. These are the 2 pieces of land on that map, known as Asgard and Liberia, which will lead you into the Hollow Earth theory. There are 2 Hollow Earth theories. According to the first one, we live on the crust, but there is another world on the inside where lies, some say, the realm of Agartha, the home of the king of the world. The second theory has it that while we think we live on the outer crust, we actually live in the interior on a convex surface inside of a concave one. Many people may have seen or be familiar with this map or have their own idea of what it represents. Many people may have seen or be familiar with this map or think they know what it represents. The most common thing I see associated with these maps are a flat Earth, which is the farthest from the truth. There is a reason atomic matter is 99.999% empty space, because everything is a mental construct, which means all platonic shapes are only taking place within the mind, but we'll talk about this in another video. In other words, it gets so much deeper than any shape of the world. The shape of the Earth simply keeps us on the surface level, never seeing what lies beneath. This is an official photograph on nasa.gov taken by the ESSA-7 satellite on the 23rd of November 1968. There is almost no cloud cover. The ice fields on the surface can be observed, and the hole at the North Pole can be clearly seen. This goes back to the Antarctic Treaty and explains why over 80% of the world's population has signed into or agreed to protect Antarctica. This treaty protects against military activities, nuclear explosions and radioactive waste disposal, and harmful pollutants. This is the reason Antarctica is the only, and I mean only, place that has never seen a war. They know something we do not. The most common belief of the hollow Earth is that it's a ring of concentric circles, which is what you see here. Here you are only seeing this model on a two-dimensional scale, but picture it on a three-dimensional scale, and what you have are concentric circles either way you go. Antarctica isn't a 360-degree ice wall surrounding the world as most people seem to think it is. It is the most sacred entrance into our inner Earth, the land beyond our lands. This is how Admiral Byrd went from seeing mountains and ice in Antarctica to reportedly seeing green moss and tight-knit grass. He also states the light here seems different. I cannot see the sun anymore. I leave the rest to you to speculate and leave your own conclusion. It certainly makes one ask, however, how these people disappeared into thin air, why so much land was taken off of these old maps and changed, and why we were taught about Albert Einstein and his theory of space-time and gravity versus Nikola Tesla and the ether force, which he denied the existence of. From my research and opinion, the Nazi Party was made to look like a monstrous group because they harnessed the ether and unlocked alien technology which was unknown to mankind prior, which directly contradicts and goes against everything we've been taught about the world and, more importantly, ourselves. With the discovery and harnessing of the ether force, you have unlocked free energy and an abundance of resources. Nikola Tesla once said, "One day man will connect his apparatus to the very wheelwork of the universe, and the very forces that motivate the planets in their orbits and cause them to rotate will rotate his own machinery." Nikola Tesla took this theory and materialized it, thus giving you the electromagnetic motor and alternating current. And this is how we got hovercraft technology, which is not actually anti-gravitational. It simply generates a greater magnetic field than the one surrounding it.